Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dal, and the Fury of the Incarnates update of the patch 10.17 is officially live for the region of NA, and arriving very soon for the region of EU as well. Unlike some of the bigger updates, such as the patch 10.1 and the upcoming patch 10.2, both of which release with a new raid and new seasonal content, 10.17 is one of the smaller updates for Dragonflight. But it does bring with it an assortment of quality of life improvements, additional story questlines, a holiday refresh, and a ton of old friendly catch-ups to get new and returning players prepped and ready for the next raid tier, and even more seasonal content arriving soon to Dragonflight. Recently, I've gotten messages from you guys looking to make a return for the patch 10.17, with many of you looking to catch up as efficiently as possible before the faded 10.2. So I put together the list of everything there is to do in this newest Dragonflight update release. But right before that, most of you guys watching these videos are still not subscribed. However, the more of you remind, the more of you do, so let's keep it going. Subscribe to the channel and ring the bell if you're watching these videos anyway. Especially if you want to get more regular content regarding Dragonflight, patch 10.15 or 10.2, which should be hitting PTR very soon, or any of the future updates going forward. Patch 10.17 is a small update filled with new major catch-up elements and will be exceptionally useful for new and returning players looking to make their comeback and prep for the next raiding tier, while getting a ton of mileage out of the new experience bonuses and old friendly gearing benefits. For new players exploring Dragonflight for the very first time, the questing structure is similar to previous expansions. Simply follow the main story questline and finish it fully to unlock a variety of account-wide benefits once you reach max level. Returning players gearing to level and new old should be making their way towards Dream Surges. Dream Surge is a new public event which appears within one of the 4 main zones of the Dragon Isles and offers new challenges as well as bonuses within. During a Dream Surge, the entire zone is under the assault of the Primalist forces, from fiery elemental foes as well as new upgraded versions of familiar rare enemies. But as the zone gains additional threats, it also gains additional old friendly bonuses. The buff of Dream Moon Winds affects each Dream Surge zone and offers additional 25% more experience gains. Use this buff to level quickly and hold off from doing any of the side quests, main story quests, and world quests until the Dream Surge is active to make sure your ult's getting maximum leveling value. Once you reach max level, the next step in ult catch-up is to gear out your characters. And while you could head straight into the normal and heroic dungeons or try your luck with world bosses and world quests, I highly suggest visiting Dream Surges when gearing freshly leveled characters. Interacting with most of the Dream Surge open world activities awards you with a new resource of Coalescence, and you'll be able to spend this Coalescence with the new Dream Surge vendors to purchase a variety of items, such as mounts, pets, toys, and account-wide catch-up gear. Over on the PTR, we've been able to start earning Coalescence early while leveling through the Dream Surges, which allows you to spend the resource to gear out a freshly character as soon as they hit max level. And since Coalescence gear is account-wide, it's also worth bringing your main through these zones as well, as they can directly help gear your under-geared ults, since your stacked up mains will likely have a much easier time with some of the more challenging Dream Surge invaders. The Coalescence gear will start out at item level 402 and can be upgraded all the way to 424 maximum, and can also be turned into tier set equivalents with the Revival Catalyst. Completing the weekly Dream Surge quest also awards you with a Chrysalis token, which can then be used to purchase epic Dreambound gear. Dreambound items start out at item level 415 and can then be further improved all the way to the item level of 437. And just like Coalescence gear, Dreambound items can also be transformed into tier set items using the Revival Catalyst, which you will find located off to the side near Tier Hold. Another form of catch-up coming in the patch 10.17 is the heroic mode of the most recent mega dungeon, Dawn of the Infinite. The dungeon is being broken up into 2 separate parts, which you can now queue for from the random group finder directly. The instance is filled with fantastic catch-up items and some of the more powerful trinkets and weapons, which are all further upgradable to the item level of 424. The final boss of this instance also has a small chance of dropping the reins of the Quantum Courser mount, which is a unique item that changes shape depending on your mount collection. The Courser will take on a form of a mount model which you haven't added to your collection just yet, be it the Raven Lord from the TBC era or the Huntsman mount Midnight from Legion. any rare mount that drops from a dungeon are all qualified for the Corsair to be transformed into. And the only requirement to queue for Dawn of the Infinite Heroic is an item level of 372, which is easy to obtain if you spend some time inside of Dream Surges on your main or old characters. Another form of catch-up arriving later in September is the return of the Turbulent Timeways event, which was initially active during the patch 10.07. Like before, this Turbulent Timeways features back-to-back time-walking dungeon events over the next few consecutive weeks. All time-walking dungeons are seeing new scaling in 10.17, which allows characters of much lower levels to participate, offering quite a bit of variety for the early leveling experience. During this time, the time-walking weekly event rewards are also improved, awarding heroic versions of Aberra's gear over the original normal counterparts, which means you get to work towards items that sport a higher, more competitive item level. Perfect for anyone looking to gear out their ults with some of the stronger Aberra's weapons and trinkets ahead of the patch 10.2. Besides increased gear drops, these dungeons will also award additional experience potions, which gain stacks when consumed, eventually transforming into additional 30% experience gains from all forms of leveling content. Those of you looking to expand your mount collection may want to work on mastering Timeways to earn yourself a Sandy Shalewing mount to add to your collection. Turbulent Timeways is set to make its return on the 26th of September and runs all the way until the end of October. The last Turbulent Timeways event ended same time as patch 10.1 went live, and we could see a familiar pattern this time around, which would mean that 10.2 would be launching towards the end of October or the start of November. Those of you returning back for the 10.17 to level if your ult may also want to focus on leveling your next class as either a Night Elf, Forsaken Undead, or as the Dragonriding, especially if you're a fan of new character customizations and want to take advantage of new character additions as of this update. Night Elves are getting additional options in the form of body tattoos. You'll now be able to customize your face markings and body markings with a handful of different options and color presets. Undead players, on the other hand, are getting a few more ghoulish skin options as part of this update. Both the Night Elves and the Undead are also getting their own heritage sets, which emphasizes their rich lore in the Warcraft universe. Night Elves are rocking a Druid and a Priestess of the Moon aesthetic, while the Undead get a mix of the gothic, spiky, metal, and leathers, and the classic colors of the Forsaken. To unlock the heritage questline, you will need a level 50 Night Elf or an Undead character. The Forsaken Heritage quest is given out by Lillian Voss, found in the ruins of Lordaeron, and the Night Elf questline begins in the Stormwind Embassy, where you can pick up the quest, The Clarion's Call. And then we have the Dragonriding, which are getting even more demonic customizations, with new eye options, hair options, and skin options, with a brand new questline arriving on the 12th of September. Patch 10.17 is one of the smaller Dragonflight updates when it comes to overall class changes, though there's a good chance that most of the major class revamps are planned for the next rating tier with a drop of the patch 10.2. For now though, we do have two new additions to mention, specifically if you plan on checking out Restoration Druids or Mystery Monks in the near future. Restoration Druids get access to the PvP talent of Master Shapeshifter, which has become a new option within the spec talent tree. With this talent, the druid is encouraged to use other animal forms outside of the primary role, be it the bear form for its defensive value or the cat form or moonkin form for their offensive potential. Using abilities within these forms also offers you with additional mana regen, which encourages the use of your unique hybrid capabilities. Resto Druids also gain access to Grove Guardians, friendly tree ants which will cast spells like Swiftmend and Wild Growth towards your allies, then proceed to heal them with Nourish for 15 seconds. The Mystery Monk mana management mechanic has been redesigned, with most of its resource recovery centered around the Mana Tea ability. The more mana you spend, the more charges you gain towards your Mana Tea. The more charges you have, the more mana you regen whenever you drink your sippy cup. And after drinking the Mana Tea, the monk has the mana resource cost cut in half for a limited time. The more charges you have, the longer you drink. And the longer you drink, the longer mana reduction buff lasts. Your sippy cup can be further enhanced with life cycles, which fuels you with additional Mana Tea charges through combat abilities. Or Energizing Brew, which simply improves the usability of Mana Tea and its mana regen value. Dragonriding has also seen new additions for the patch 10.17. With all of the races receiving new challenge modes. Test your Dragonriding skills and push them to new limits without additional resources provided by the route. New and returning players may want to practice with those challenge routes to prepare for the Eastern Kingdom's races. While Dragonriding isn't available outside of Dragon Isles just yet, we will be able to do races within the zones such as the Plaguelands, the Hinterlands, and the Booty Bay within the Eastern Kingdom's Cup, which arrives during the early parts of October. Next, those of you that have already obtained the Infinite Dragon skin are getting additional customization options for your drakes, with new horn colors, new fur colors, and eye colors to match your Infinite Timeline look. You can also earn the Infinite Scales manuscript for each of your mounts from the dawn of the Infinite Mega Dungeon. And finally, be on the lookout for new holiday additions as we slowly approach the spooky season in Azeroth. Most of the upcoming holidays are getting few more updates, starting with the Hallows and Dungeon, which is receiving a new hard mode. Talk to the Wickerman present at the start of the instance to apply additional curses into the encounter. Defeating the Horseman with all 4 curses active will grant you a new holiday achievement. And each holiday also comes with additional saddles for your Dragonriding mounts, including the Hallows End saddle, the Brewfest saddle, the Pirate's Day saddle, and the Day of the Dead saddle for you to earn. I want to thank all of you so much for watching this video and hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. As per usual, if you guys enjoyed this video or found it informative, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I would very much appreciate it. And as always, in the description of every single video and live stream, we have a link to our Discord community channel. Probably the best place to reach out to me directly in case you want to let me know what you thought about this video or hang out with the rest of the community to discuss some of the upcoming changes. Join our Discord to become part of the community. But otherwise, thank you all so much for watching this video. I do hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know all of your thoughts down below. And as always, I'll see all of you guys in another video.